everyone, welcome to my most anticipated movies of 2026. 2025 I thought was a great year for film, and so I'm very excited to see what 2026 has to offer. This year we have a bunch of heavy hitters this year that I'm incredibly excited to see that are on this list. And so without further ado, let's just get right into it, shall we? Ray Gunn is Brad Bird's new film. This is an original film from Brad Bird, who is one of my favorite all-time directors, and so I'm very, very excited to see what he does with this movie. I don't know anything story-wise, and that alone has me incredibly excited to check this out. Wildwood is Laika's new film. Laika is one of my favorite animation studios ever. They've done stuff like Coraline, Kubo, Paranorman, and this looks really unique and really, really beautiful. Again, I don't know too much, but I like that. Well, because it's going to be more surprising when I see the film, and I'm incredibly excited to see Laika back with a new film. And this movie is directed by Travis Knight, who is a great director who has done great movies like Kubo and Bumblebee, and I'm really, really curious to check this movie out. Send Help is Sam Raimi's new film. Anytime Sam Raimi directs a movie, I am there. Also, this movie stars Dylan O'Brien and Rachel McAdams, and it's being described as Castaway meets Misery. The trailer, I thought, looked like a lot of fun, and I'm very, very excited to see Sam Raimi back to doing horror once again. Goat is Sony Pictures Animation's new film. I put this on here mainly because Sony Animation has been on a really good streak lately. Like, I love Spider-Verse, I love Mitchell's vs. the Machines, I love K-Pop Demon Hunters, and I'm very excited to check this out. This looks really, really visually creative, and, it has a lot of actors I really like in it, and so I'm very curious about this one. I'm hoping it's great. I'm hoping it could be on the levels of, like, Spider-Verse, where it's a movie that people are really, really surprised by how good it is. And Sony's been doing really good at that lately, and so let's hope they can do it again with this movie. Scream 7. I am a big fan of the Scream movies, and so I'm very curious to check this movie out. This is written and directed by Kevin Williamson, who wrote the first two Scream movies, and that alone has me really curious. Also, Neve Campbell and Courtney Cox are back, and so that's really cool. I like that the trailer looked like a lot of fun. I'm really curious to go see this movie on the big screen, and I'm really hoping it delivers. The Bride is Maggie Gyllenhaal's new film. I think this looks really cool. I love Christian Bale, and so I'll watch him in anything. And I'm really curious to see what Maggie Gyllenhaal does behind the camera and telling the story Bride of Frankenstein. And this looks like a really cool, unique, fresh take on this classic story. And I can't wait to see this on the big screen when it comes out in April. Project Hail Mary is possibly one of my top most anticipated movies of this year. It's directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. And they've had a great track record with movies like the 21 Jump Street movies, Lego movies, Spider-Verse, all kinds of great stuff. Also, the film was written by Drew Goddard, man. And this dude wrote Cabin in the Woods and The Martian, which I both loved. And according to a lot of people, the book is phenomenal. And so I'm really curious to, to see what this movie's about. I don't know much about it, but I like that. Well, because it's gonna, create more surprise and more intrigue when I go see the film. The Super Mario Galaxy movie, I really liked the first Mario movie that came out a few years ago. And so I'm really excited to see what they do with this one, adapting Super Mario Galaxy into a big sci-fi animated film. And this looks beautiful. The Drama is a new A24 film starring Zendaya and Robert Pattinson. This trailer I thought looked really, really, really good, and so I'm really excited to see what this movie has to offer. I love Zendaya and Robert Pattinson, and from the trailer it looks like they're going to give some of the best performances of their career, and A24 has been having a great track record lately, and so I'm really excited to check this out in theaters. Michael is the story about Michael Jackson. I'm incredibly excited to see this. Antoine Fuqua, I think, is a great director, and he's directing this, and I think he's going to bring something really unique and special into this. And I'm also curious to see like how they adapt Michael Jackson's larger than life story into a big film. And Jafar Jackson looks incredible as Michael Jackson, and and this is going to be one of the event films of the year. I can't wait to see. The Adventures of Cliff Booth is a movie that's coming to Netflix. It's directed by David Fincher and written by Quentin Tarantino. Once Upon a Time in Hollywood is one of my favorite Tarantino films of all time. Definitely top 3, and one of my favorite movies, just period. And so I'm really excited to see like what Tarantino's script and David Fincher's direction, can do with this movie. And I'm hoping it's great. I loved Brad Pitt's character in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and so I'm excited to see more of him. And hopefully David Fincher and Quentin Tarantino can deliver something really, really, really awesome with this one. The Devil Wears Prada 2, I really liked the first one, and so I'm really curious to see this one. This one has like the same crew coming back, and I don't know too much other than that, and so let's hope for the best with this one. It Ends is a film that I think premiered at like multiple festivals, and it got great reviews. Neon picked it up, and they're going to release it this year. I'm really curious about this one. I don't know really anything about it, and I love that, and so let's hope that Neon, puts a lot of marketing into this movie, and hopefully it's something really, really cool and unique. Masters of the Universe is Travis Knight's new film. This looks like a lot of fun and visually awesome. And so I'm really excited to see like how they adapt such a silly cartoon into a big, epic film. I hope it doesn't take itself too seriously. I hope it has a fun, tongue-in-cheek tone. Disclosure Day is Steven Spielberg's new film. This trailer was probably one of the best trailers I've seen in a while. And so I'm really curious to check this movie out. The trailer pretty much told me everything and nothing about the movie at the same time. And I love a trailer that can do that. Spielberg, of course, is a legendary filmmaker. And this is apparently a UFO movie, and I'm really curious to check this out in June. Supergirl. I was a huge fan of James Gunn's Superman. And so I'm incredibly excited to see what Greg Gillespie can bring to Supergirl. This looks really, really cool. And Millie Alec looks great as Supergirl. And Jason Momoa as Lobo. I mean, oh my gosh. Like, that alone makes me want to run to the theater to go see this movie in June. Next one up is probably my most anticipated film of the year, Christopher Nolan's The Odyssey. Man, first off, Christopher Nolan has not directed a bad film. Second, this is coming off the heels of Oppenheimer, which came close to making $1 billion and won Best Picture. And third, this is a movie, adapting this big, epic poem that is legendary. I mean, all those things combined have me incredibly excited, make me really, really want to go see this movie on the biggest screen with the loudest speakers, to be fully immersed into this world, and I'm incredibly excited to see what Christopher Nolan can deliver. Spider-Man Brand New Day, I loved No Way Home, and so I'm very, very curious to see what this movie's about. I think this is going to be a more street-level Spider-Man movie, which I think is perfect, and the Punisher is in this. I think it's going to be really, really awesome, and so I'm really excited to check this out. Clayface is the second DC movie coming out this year. Everything we're hearing about this movie sounds perfect. James Gunn has said the script is fantastic. There's a lot of amazing practical effects in this movie, and that this movie is going to be a true old-school body horror film, but with the Clayface monster. And that alone has me incredibly excited to see this. Resident Evil. I am a big fan of the Resident Evil games, but what really has me excited about this movie is that Zach Cregger is directing it, and he directed my favorite film of last year, Weapons. And so I'm incredibly excited to see what he can bring to the camera with Resident Evil. I think he is the perfect director for this kind of movie, And so let's hope that Zach Cregger can knock it out of the park and give us a good Resident Evil movie. Digger is Tom Cruise's new film. This looks really unique and really art housey, and I love that. This is from the director of The Revenant and Birdman, and so this is going to be a really off-kilter, unique film that I'm really excited to see on the big screen. The Street Fighter movie. This looks like a lot of big, dumb fun. This looks like the game, which is nice. The action looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. The cast looks great. I'm really excited to check this out, and I'm hoping it can be a lot of fun. The Social Reckoning is the sequel to The Social Network, and this is written and directed by Aaron Sorkin. I love The Social Network, and so I'm really curious to see what this movie's about. I don't know really anything about this, and so that has me even more excited. And so let's hope this can be really great. Avengers Doomsday. I love the Russo brothers MCU movies, and I really like the Avengers movies, and so I'm very curious to see how this movie turns out. The MCU has not been the most consistent lately, but man, with this movie, I'm really hoping the MCU can knock it out of the park, and that they can deliver, once again, on a great, big, epic Marvel film again. Dune Messiah. I'm incredibly excited to see this. Dune Part 2, I think, is one of the best films I've ever seen this decade. And Denis Villeneuve, I think, is one of the most exciting filmmakers working today. And so I'm incredibly excited to see what he does with Dune Messiah and how he adapts this big epic story into a big epic film. And guys, those are my most anticipated movies of 2026. Man, to think we are already in 2026 already is crazy. Thank you guys so much for watching. It really means the world to me that you guys subscribe and continue to support my content. And so thank you guys very much. Have a great day, and I'll see you later. Take care.